Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Lifer Show. As we breathe in another beautiful day and take a look at what's happening in the markets every single day. And shout out to my beautiful team. Shout out to Sean and everyone out there. God bless everybody. And may you all have a wonderful day today, no matter what happens. In your beautiful day, may it be blessed. May you have an awesome day. And may things just go your way, no matter what, no matter how, no matter which way they could go, all right? So we're going to jump on into the markets like we do every single day. May God bless you all once I get this figured out, which monitor we got going on over here. Over here. Let's get the music back up and running. Tommy T over here. Let's get it running. The Iconoclast. Shout out to all my beloved lovers of life. Shout out to all my crypto lifers. May God bless each and every one of you for being here. Feels strange. Definitely a weird day. For me, every day kind of feels weird now. Take a big sip of the lemon water. But there's still gains to be had. I want to talk about a little coin called Tau. Tau looks interesting with the double bottom here. Could make it back up to 450 this thing, or up to 450 into some type of movement. It did double top here. We'd want to see it break back above that zone. But if it can continue to consolidate, I'd be interested in watching it. I'm not saying it's going to pump for sure. I'm just saying this is the beginning of good consolidation. It should be down here already getting sold off, but it's not. So something about it. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. I don't think I'm saying you should be taking as financial advice. Please get yourself a financial advisor and do your own due diligence before getting to any project, coin, or trade. All right. Crypto bubbles. Take a look at what's happening in the last hour. And we got Tau. Wow. Interesting. Luna C, blur. But not a lot of green. Little sideways action here for price action. On the week, Luna C, BEAMX, IOTA, SEI, Pyth got hit a little bit. Injective up, Ape, Rose, Clay got down. Axie Infinity, Stacks getting a move. And on the month, I mean, we have massive gains of the month. It was a glorious month. November was absolutely glorious. It will end today, right? This will be the end of November. We have a monthly candle close tonight that we'll be doing. So get ready for that. Stay hyped. Stay focused. Stay situated. God bless everybody here on the live, and thank you for being here and, hanging out. Oh, I have an interesting thing here going on in the chart. Let me see. Let me see here. Oh, there we go. Sorry about that. Took care of that. Get rid of that over here. Okay. Any tips for beginners? Yeah, just keep watching the show and understanding what's happening. All right. One step at a time. Don't overwhelm yourself. Don't use more money than you can handle. You know, if you can't double $100, you have no use putting more money into the market, in my humble opinion. You do whatever makes you happy, but if I couldn't double $100, I wouldn't put any more money into the market, right? I'd learn. I'd do heavy research. I'd find out what coins that I like. I'd look at market caps. I'd realistically understand what a 100x is, what a 50x is. What are the odds of all these different things happening and how they can happen realistically? Because they can, but you got to see the road to fruition, right? All right. We talked about Star Atlas just the other day. Look at that thing just absolutely mooning on a flag. I was kind of putting in some type of flag. Eventually it made this one. Oversold in the 2-hour time frame and got lit. Star Atlas. We just went over this coin yesterday. It was on my radar. I like this puppy, Star Atlas. If you're on this channel, you're going to learn about all different coins all the time. We're going to break it down. Let's talk about Bitcoin like we do every single day. So the first thing I was looking at was the 4-hour time frame when I woke up this morning, and the 4-hour looked pretty good. We're at 37,700 right now. All right, and we are at like 37,850. And if we take a look at the 4-hour, we get rid of the moving averages for a second. We get rid of this for just a second here, because that's still on the table. But you can see we're in some type of sideways flag here for Bitcoin. And as long as this flag stays like in this beautiful channel, we have a nice likelihood of a break to the upside. We would like to see the 4-hour reset without losing too much. However, I did want to see us hold 37,750. That was a key level. Resistance, resistance, resistance. We hadn't closed the 4-hour candle below it in a while. All right. And really 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, almost 10 candles. This will now be the first candle to close below this in about, right, 4 times, about 36 hours, which is, so can it channel itself back above, or are we going to stay inside the zone? Either way, I do like the flag that we're making. Does that mean we're going to continue to pump? Who knows? I put this flag out. Remember, that trade is still in the money from when we first talked about this flag just a few days ago for Bitcoin. That little tiny flag that I deleted on, but it was on like the 15-minute. USDC, yeah, and Lunacy continues to pump. A lot of stuff continues to bang to the upside. Synapse has been hot too. SYN has been hot. Agreed. I've seen that pumping pretty nicely. Syn. So there's a few different ways to look at this, and I'm also open-minded to that idea. All right, and we're going to break it down. That's what we do here. Like, we could be looking at here and just say, hey, we're coming to the bottom of the channel one more time. Bit of an M pattern. We couldn't get above the resistance, and we couldn't. Bitcoin had to break back above 38,500. Extreme big area to get back above. We really want to see that area break. All right, Bitcoin pullback will drop all alts soon. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Hit the like button for the hardest working man in crypto. Thank you for saying that. God bless you for jumping on in. All right. So, you know, I'm going to delete all my work. We're going to look at Bitcoin fresh right now and see if we see anything different from the top down. We're going to start all the way at the weekly. And we're just going to reset the brain, reset the mind. And we're going to look at it as we can see bearish and bullish sides. Open-mindedness right now. Put on the goggles. Get ready for the Bitcoin experience. Here we are on the weekly. And when we're done with this, we're going to feel really good inside. We're going to understand both premises. We're not going to be stuck in one way or the other. And we're going to be open-minded to the ideas of what could and could not be for Bitcoin. So here's the deal. I mean, that was a clear resistance for Bitcoin at about 36,260. We're above it nicely. Some people buying it up. The wicks getting pushed to the upside as well. But, it's interesting. We keep getting these wicks, not bullish, not bearish. We keep getting indecision candles. At the same time, we are continuing further to the upside. We're continuing to get green candles. We have not had a bearish week now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This will be the 7th bullish week for Bitcoin. Even if it only went up $100, it still was a bullish week. So very bullish sign, that we could hold this level even if we have to come back down to it. And then we're even dealing with this level here now as resistance. You can see where these candles have closed right there. Close, and we can't get back above the zone at 37,750. So 37,750 is a key level. Really, it's a key level right here for us to really get back above. Losing it today means we could come back down and have to deal with 36,120. This is weekly support and resistance. You also want to take a look at this idea and keep this kind of in your mind. This idea that we're in some type of rising wedge. This could be a bull trap, an elongated 5-10 week bull trap to bring us back inside here. And then that could even break you all the way back down to the beginning. This is a possibility. Who believes this is a possibility that you could see Bitcoin back at 16,000? Anybody here in the chat believes you could see Bitcoin back at 16,000? Anybody out there? Anybody out there? Or are you just completely angry? You want to throw stuff at the screen? You think I'm insane? Okay. No way, says everybody. Rare but possible. Okay, so it's possible. The whole point is it's possible. It is possible. Is it possible? The question is that not depends. The question right now is it a possibility? Is it a possibility? Is it a possible possibility? It is. It is. All right. Now, first, for that to happen, right, we'd have to break back inside the zone. We'd have to lose this beautiful diagonal resistance that turned into support. And now we're going to switch to the 5-day chart, and I'm going to go back to what I say. And this is what I love my channel. It keeps me grounded as well as you. All right? As I stay on the same stuff over and over and over and over again. All right? So here we are on the 5-day chart. And as I kept saying, as long as we stay above the 200 SMA on the 5-day chart, we have nothing to fear when it comes to the bearish sentiment. When everyone says, oh, we're going down, or this is a fake rally, that's fine. I'll buy it when the price action begins to tell me it. But until then I don't buy it. You know what I mean? And there's too many people that are buying price action when there's no reason to. All right? Math says yes, unlikely in the Charkov math, but it's there. Simple as SEC rejected the bill to pass again in January. However, definitely as 40 for the 56K, things go positive. Good Come on, only 1/3 of people press the like. Everyone hit that like button. Get the likes up to the watchers. 239 people, 722 likes. 22 people, 239 likes. Let's get the likes up to the watchers. I would greatly appreciate it. So we're looking for Bitcoin to stay above this 200 SMA on the 5-day chart. That's it. Like, we're not reinventing the wheel here. It's not going to be that crazy. And we also have, look, we have a golden cross coming here. And on the 4-day, we have a golden cross, like, ready to approach. All right. Back to our daily time frame, which most people are most comfortable looking at. You know, the 5-day, a little much for most people. It's a little too much. They're like, oh, don't take me to that 5-day. Don't let me look at the weekly. I can't handle that. That's too much. Who used to be afraid of the weekly? And I asked this the other day, but I was afraid of it. Who used to be afraid of the weekly? I was afraid of the weekly for a long time. I'll be honest. I looked at the weekly chart and it just scared. It was too much information at once. I didn't want to have to be able to bring that into my trading. But now I'm able to look at the weekly, the daily, the 3-day, all the way to the 7-minute. I can bring it all into my trading and realize it all matters at one point. It has some significance depending on how you're looking at it. He says, grind, don't stop. Grind, don't stop. So look, our next level there is 43,151. This level is 41,000. Am I saying we're going there for sure? No. No guarantees, but so far the stochastics RSI suggests yes. And the fact that the RSI has reset as price action's gone sideways is a very bullish sign for Bitcoin. All right. Also, previous resistance has become support until we lose 35,545. I also don't remain bearish, and we also are still consistently holding this trend line as we get tighter and tighter on the daily. So it's not all bearish here when I look at the bigger time frames. We're just kind of getting settled here for Bitcoin. And again, am I bullish or bearish? I'm open-minded right now. Either way, let's take a look at my 4-hour time frame. Our 4 hours resetting without us losing a lot here. And so now let's kind of reset the 4-hour in a way that makes a little more sense for the rest of the move. And so I technically have these patterns here. I could bring this here and just kind of make it more of an uptrend. Or I can cut off one top. Say that was a trap. Couple ways to look at this tricky pattern. This makes the most sense to me. And if I go this wide, it's just too much. The trajectory, really, that's your trajectory. It's almost like they faked a bearish reset. You know what I mean? It's crazy though. Over time, you play with these things. And then I'm also generally trained to just use the top channel here and forget about the past at this point. For me, this makes the most sense. Bit of a rising wedge. Almost still in the ascending triangle banquet here, though. So this is what I see happening for Bitcoin, and I wouldn't be surprised if we have to fall a little further down, even if we get a bit of a bounce here, right? Wait for the Stokes to reset. So I see sideways or downward action for Bitcoin on the day. That's what I really see happening. Take a look at the 1 hour time frame. 1 hour is also kind of trending down a little bit. And like I showed you before, there is a bit of a head and shoulder pattern here on the 1 hour time frame. So I'm more bearish than bullish right now on the smaller time frames, because you had high here, you lost the high, and you're getting back below a previous resistance, lost it, came back, resistance, fell below. You got to flip back above 37,870 and 37,750 on that weekly big boy to really remain bullish here for Bitcoin. So I see more sideways and downward price action for Bitcoin on this Thursday afternoon, as liquidity tends to dry up a little bit too. On your first week back from a holiday is also a slow week. It's never a pickup week. Also, as we get into December, people are getting ready for the holidays. You're going to see volume dry up and get a little slow. It's going to be a tough month. I'm being honest. After all the fun from October and November, it usually slows down. There's tax loss harvesting. There's just a bunch of different things that are going to start happening. And I just tell you, things do tend to kind of get a little tight in the trading zone when it comes to December. All right. There's just and then we also have, you know, probably some type of meeting. So we'll see. We'll go over all the Forex meetings and what's happening. So I see sideways and downward price action for Bitcoin on the day. I wouldn't be surprised if we end the day somewhere at 37,002 and we slowly coil our way down through this. Again, as long as we keep the high or low when the reset on the 4-hour continues, like I'd like to see this reset, keep the high, we'll be all right. There's a chance we are in some type of rising wedge here and we break to the downside. I'd look for a smaller time frame for a bearish retest and we fall. Again, we'll fall to the 200 SMA on the 4-hour. If we lose that, you're going down to this high volume node first. All right, and you're going to test this level here at about 34,000. That's the bearish scenario. I just want to be open-minded for you guys so you can see, hey, it's not always bullish. It's not always bearish. We have to see both sides of the story. All right, it's like a chessboard. We're looking at which way the guy's going to move, and we have all our different moves on the chessboard. All right, and that's kind of how I'm looking at it. So I do see more downward price action for Bitcoin on the day, and the reason I'm seeing that is based off of the fact that we're losing support and resistance. All right, we keep making lower lows as the stochastics resets, and the 4-hour stochastics isn't done yet, and it's really running the show too. So to me, downward price action for BTC. Let's take a look at the 1-hour time frame. What do you want to lose? You don't want to lose the 200 SMA. All right, if you lose the 200 SMA, that's going to be a key level you're going to watch for. All right. All right. That's like, so these are just like the levels that I'm looking at and that I'm watching for very, very closely. Okay. The daily's overbought. Yeah. The daily is not overbought. I don't know what he's talking about, but the daily for me is not overbought for Bitcoin. It's actually looking pretty nice, still in an ascending triangle. See that? Still in ascending up here. If you flatten this top, you're still in a nice ascending triangle, just with a dip outside. But I still like the formation we have on Bitcoin on the daily too. So bigger time frames do look somewhat bullish, but I'm more bearish on Bitcoin. And then you can see there's a head and shoulder pattern right here. That's likely going to drop to the downside. And the second we lose this 200 SMA on the 1-hour, the bots will take over for a nice little dump. Look, we already dropped like 60 points since I've said it, right? So I'm usually pretty bearish when times are bearish, and I'm usually bullish when times are bullish. I'm pretty spot on when it comes to price action, you know. So I see us moving further down here to 37,000. Even there's liquidity right below us, as we didn't even get to this red zone at 38.5. Wasn't enough volume. So 37.2, 37,000, and then even some spillover down into this level 36.5 is looking more likely now for Bitcoin, but no guarantees. It's more like I wouldn't be surprised if we just saw some chop, back up, back down, you know, nothing too crazy. And I wouldn't trade this chop too hard. I'd be careful for holiday chop. That's what I call it. Don't expect too much. All right. Yeah. Shout out to all the new names in the chat. Keep coming back. Shout out to everybody here. Shout out to all the new people. Gunner67. Shout out to Lee. Shout out to New Guy 30R. Shout out to Alucard. Shout out to D Shuffle, Stefan Marcel, Sergio Lamelli, Leo. Shout out to Kick Drum. Shout out to Crypto Bear Baker, GF Burke, all the blue crew. Shout out to Jake Sully in the first super chat in the live stream. God bless you for DOP. $300. Shout out to Jake Sully. We love you. D Shuffle in the house. Crypto Cash in the house. Crypto Migrant in the house. Tom Migrant. Shout out to Top Roller. Fit for Business. Asterisk X. Shout out to Obama Melus. Shout out to Fit for Business. Shout out to Crypto Bull Sniper. Irish Aries Matt Stevens in the house. Nate Singer, my man. Shout out to RC. Is XNA and Kaz still on your radar? Well, we got the hype. Let's see if the hype is real, right? Star Atlas, I can't believe that. And I didn't put it out perfectly. I usually sometimes do, but that one I did not. But I did look at it yesterday and talk about the fact that it could get a nice move. This is an interesting flag for me. 2 hours a little high. I'd wait for it to reset, but I like what I'm seeing here. Something I would definitely just kind of pay attention to. A little overbought. high risk meme coin. I would put an alert here and just see if it's worth looking at, you know. Shout out to Kanto getting the nice pump out of this to the upside. Kanto still holding gains as well. METIS Dow on the radar as it's getting tighter in the zone. Forming a bit of a double bottom here. Fending off the wolves. METIS Dow on the radar. Something I'd be looking at. METIS. And I've seen METIS just do some amazing pumps too. I've seen METIS do something on, you know. I don't own any METIS. I don't know anyone that does at the present moment. I'm not paid to talk about METIS. I'm just a happy-go-lucky guy, just curiously looking through the charts. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Appreciate you all for being here and sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. And it really is your most precious asset. It really, really is. All you have is your time, and you give your time away to the people that you love, right? I gave a lot of my time to my mom, and I really would love to have dedicated so much more time to my mother. What a blessing she was in this world. What a nice person. She was such a nice soul. I'm telling you right now, one of the nicest people you will ever think about meeting is my mom. Would do anything she could for you. Super thoughtful about how she helped people too. Like, just always had a thought, always had a great idea. Always wanted to help someone in need. Never greedy, never cared about money, never put money first at all. You know, not like me, who always focused on how to be a billionaire and thought about, trading and stuff like that. You know, she was always thinking about how to help others. My mom was such a blessing. And I wore this tie to kind of like remind me of my mom. It's a flamingo tie with just this beautiful flower on it. My mom was such a beautiful flower. And I'm still in shock the way it all went down. It sounds like a movie, you know? I always read this stuff in the paper. Oh, that's so horrible what happened to that person. It never happened to me. None of these tragic things happened to me. It was always someone else. Now it's me in the driver's seat going through these crazy things. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Looking at METIS, I like Lido Dow too. LDO, ever since it pumped slower now though, as you know, it's been up. It's been taking 65% gains in a month, right? Since October. But slowly gaining moves to the upside as well. AI Doge is a meme coin. Be very careful. Matrix AI. Talked about this thing getting some legs inside of this, sideways Adam and Eve. And Cardano's also on my radar today. Let's talk about Cardano. Who here likes Cardano? Who here is a big Cardano fan? Who here thinks Cardano's a waste of time? You can be honest. It's okay. It's okay. Tell us how you feel about Cardano. We love you, Sam. Couldn't imagine. Mine are thankfully still with me. Amen. Amen. Sorry, brother. My mom is also currently really ill. May God give us patience and resilience. Cardano's a big waste of time. I like it. I like the honesty. I own 250,000 ADA. Let's pump, baby. I like it. Go ADA. Not usually bringing up, but the Dow is going crazy. Hyperinflation nail biter. Cardano fading away. ADA to the moon. No bueno on Cardano. ADA is pretty stagnant. I think it'll go, but nowhere people think. Give me a pack of Cardanas over here. Cardanas. Oh my God, honey. My sister died of a brain aneurysm at 37. Super healthy and healthy conscious too. Life is crazy and should be appreciated. Never take it too seriously. Amen. Cardano is like a scientific paper. Shout out to Jamie. I hold slow and steady. Crow will be better than ADA in my opinion. Cardanas. ADA is not bad, but when Casper is there, I don't see why to invest in ADA. There's higher opportunity costs with Casper. Interesting. My brain says Ethereum is going to pop up again. Your brain says a lot of stuff. Interesting. So let's take a look at Cardano. So do you guys think Cardano's going to pump this month or dump this month? Cardano pump or dump? I mean, it's doing exactly what Bitcoin's doing. It's in that exact same kind of sideways channel. You know, when the 80-day crosses the 200 SMA, that's a good sign. Doesn't mean it can't pull back a little bit. Might come all the way back down a little bit more to the channel. But it is bullishly consolidating here for a bigger move, possibly all the way back up to 54. And what if it can get to 54 somewhere by December 26th, by the Christmas time? So Cardano looking somewhat bullish to me in the Adam and Eve double bottom. And that's usually going to be how it bottoms out, pretty much, you know, so to speak. 90% of coins are going to bottom out in that exact formation. So you can only, you know, somewhat assume, even though we're not supposed to, that it could. Nice flamingo tie. I stayed at the Flamingo in Las Vegas. It has a big history. Oh, yeah, the Flamingo, man. It's like the first one ever. Whole pack of bananas over here. Give me a biscuit. And give me one of those sugar buns. Yeah, I know I shouldn't eat it with my diabetes, but give it all. I want it anyway. Give me some orange juice. I like it when the acid goes down my throat. Anyway, let's take a look at Caspa struggling inside of the channel. The daily, you know, the 2-day, the 3-day really far away from the 21 SMA. How long can it sustain this sideways price action is the question. All right. 1-day chart looks okay. Bit of a double top. You know, it doesn't look amazing. That looks more like it's beginning to become of a descending triangle. 22 is okay, though. Not the worst thing in the world. And still just kind of coiling up on the 4-hour. Is starting to make more, you know, it looks more bearish than bullish to me. You know, but we'll see. Only time will tell. It should have been sold off way faster. So it's consolidating pretty nicely. I just have an alert on it, and I'm watching the sideways price action for Caspa. All right. Sam, accept our condolences. She's in a better place, reunited with Jimmy. God bless. Shout out to Stan Lebowski. You know, I mean, but like, the only thing about my mom is it's one thing when like someone was struggling in the hospital for years and you're like, you know what, she's in a better place. She was struggling. Like, my mom was like super, you know, she was going through some grief and she was fighting through some times, but like things, I truly believe things were going to get better. And, you know, she was going to get through her time. She was going to find her way. And we were all going to have a really good couple, you know, 10 years together. And, you know, again, I made the plans. God, you know, who knows what my plans were, right? Like, it's not like it was going to happen like I planned, but it just, man, it would have been easier, you know, not easier. It's never, but had she been sick and I was waiting for her to go and like, oh, she's in a better spot. But like, you know, she had these little tiny strokes. She had two tiny strokes in her head. And next thing you know, one of them just burst in her brain. Like, you know, I don't know if anyone's a doctor, but like, couldn't that have been avoided? Like, how does someone just have a stroke that kills them immediately? I don't know. I'm looking at ATOR after that nasty dump, which is kind of crazy. I don't know why it dumped so bad. It was getting that move up. But now it's consolidating nicely to the side, and the 4-hour looks interesting to me. Even if it gets a nice little swing trade up to the 200 SMA or maybe up to somewhere to these resistance lines, it's a bit of a double bottom forming there for ATOR. ATOR on my radar. ATOR. ATOR. And where do I like to trade these beautiful things and all these interesting tokens? Well, you can trade them on KuCoin, Binance, all different places. But my favorite place is MEXC. MEXC is the place to be. All right. And it has the most stuff going on. You know what I mean? Has the lowest fees, 0% maker and taker fees, 0% future fee. If it's in your radar, if it's somewhere you can use in your neck of the woods, I would jump on into MEXC today. Link in the description below. All right. And has access to futures trading and just you can jump into stuff on spot without having to pay a dime, which I really find amazing. So very, very interesting. MEXC. My dad had a stroke. Blood thinners would be the only help. Her stress could have built up pressure of a clot. Man, I appreciate commentary. Vibes of watching cricket. No telling with Cardano. Shout out to Justin Cashmore in the house. Shout out to Stan. Shout out to Jared. Shout out to all the green crew. And shout out to everybody out there Moms are the best in life. God bless your beautiful mother. Amen. Did they find the stroke, the blood clot, and analyze it? No one said they were going to do that. But, you know, anyway. And Bitcoin further dump, as we're talking about, to the downside here. And went over the fact that we were in this head and shoulder pattern at the beginning of the live. That's like the first thing that kind of I looked at. I went over it just in case to see if I saw something somewhat different. But I see a move. And once the 1 hour loses this 200 SMA, look for the move down to the bottom of the channel here at about 37,088. All right. Again, we may get a bounce back to the upside. I see chop and downward action for Bitcoin on the day. All right. Take a look at XNA, which also would be, you think would get some sell-off from the miners and people making some gains. All the way back to 4.6 from that beautiful high at 7.3. Unbelievable. Still doing damage, though. Still doing damage, making some serious gains. But now, when I'm looking at, I don't, this is one of my, I don't like these patterns at all. It just has a descending triangle vibe, in my humble opinion. Bit of a double bottom, but to me, it looks more like it could get sold off. And remember, these are high risk, tiny little coins. All right. They just came out. We find about them new. You can't fall in love with this stuff. To me, 5X, 10X. I buy some BTC. I maybe allocate back inside, and that's kind of what I do when it comes to these smaller coins. All right. Bro, what are your thoughts about Ethereum? Ethereum has made a triangle pattern. DOT is pumping. After your thoughts on crypto, bring on the Discord. Yeah, I don't talk about anyone else, man. All I talk about is love, light, and happiness here. God bless everybody here for being on the live. Just want to put DMTR back on your radar. Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. So we used to trade this puppy back in the day. Had a massive pump up. Came down and bottomed out at about, 1.6. Came back to 2.9. In the falling wedge now. Oversold in the 22. It's in that golden pocket on the fib. Might come all the way back down, but looks like it's getting ready to come into some golden pocket action, some nice retracement. And I like what I'm... Yeah, this thing could make a move here. I like what I'm seeing. It's been a while. Lower liquidity, just something to be careful, is on KuCoin. Link in the description below if you want to jump into KuCoin. All right. But yeah, I like 138% gains possibly coming, and it's entering into the golden pocket. Definitely something I'll keep on the radar. DMTR. Thank you for putting that back on the radar. Bless you, kind sir. And let's talk about all the fan funding and all the beautiful people here on the live. Shout out to Tori. Love you too, brother. Thank you. XNA and Cast TA, please. Bang. And we got Stan. God bless you, Sam. Accept our condolences. She's in a better place. God bless you, Stan. Thank you so much. Reunited with Jimmy, yeah. Live routine on Coinbase stock, please. Thank you, Coin. We'll take a look at that. And Sergeant Pepper, Stanford Mineco LLC. And we got Tori again. We got RC Moore, Jake Sully. We got the KOIN, and his first super chat. God bless you, man. Or their fifth super chat. Thank you for your fifth super chat. XNA, FCON, and Jesus Thoughts. We'll take a look at Exxon. Shout out to the QRA 1010. I really appreciate you, brother. The KOIN, for jumping on in. And shout out to everyone that sent in some funding to the live. I greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate that. It's one of the nicest things you could ever do. So thank you so much. It means the world to me. $43.63 in chat revenue. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right, moving forward. So it's kind of a dry day, I'll be honest, in the market. And you want that action. And there's always going to be some low cap gems that are bumping off. Let's take a look at GALA too and see what's happening with GALA. We're also going to look at the DXY, S&P futures. Take a look at the bigger picture of what's happening in the overall macro market. So look, front running that golden cross on the daily time frame. Yeah, so GALA to me is just consolidating nicely. Similar to Bitcoin though. Breakout, break back inside. Still forming this nice consolidation. Could it make a dip? It could. It could make a bit of a flag. But for the most part, in the long term, 3, 4, 5 weeks from now, I see it higher, possibly going up 77% gains, all the way to about 4.1. Bigger market cap. This is like a front runner, but also, it's at a lower point. This thing went all the way up to 89 cents, something like that. So it could 40x and even 50x from where it's at right now. GALA is very interesting and on my radar for a possible gain. So I like what I'm seeing for GALA, and it's still on my radar. I'm going to move this over here. And again, after that, we had a nice pump right after that. Nakamoto Games continues to pump too to the upside. Really nice winner here. Really just banging on them. And, you know, went to a high all the way on a wick of 218. Still holding gains. Let's take a look here. Somewhere at what, like 188? I mean, this thing's been on a tear. It was 6 cents at the bottom of the rally here in the bear market. It's already, I mean, at the 10x at 60 cents, it's already done a 30x, if you can believe this thing. It's on it. And then we looked at it here, there. We were putting pennants out for it all along the way. Been trading it since right around this spot here, 136. I added to another position. That thing blasted to the upside. Still holding gains at 188. Unbelievable. And yeah, it might, you know, eventually, we don't know how big or small the consolidation will be here, something like this. But overall, again, another winner that's likely going to just get bought up sideways and continue further to the upside, somewhere into the 283 higher region. We'll clean this up for you and give you guys a nicer view once I see how price action plays out. But even the 4 hour here could break out of that flag to the upside. Look at the 4 hour aggressively pointing to the upside. So, you know, NAKA, if anything, if any coin's strong right now, and while Bitcoin flops around, NAKA could make some serious gains. One thing I want to look at is some BTC pairs. Look at any kind of exchange just to get a look at them. Treehouse beating up on Bitcoin today. West, Waves Enterprise beating up. NOIA beating up on Bitcoin. Xcurve beating up on Bitcoin. Injective Protocol looks like a nice play against BTC as well. So interesting. Injective actually may really start to get a move on here against BTC, breaking out, showing signs of a bigger move. This is how you play with Bitcoin. You put some Bitcoin in, you get some Bitcoin out, and you use Bitcoin inside the trade, right? Look at that. Had I put one Bitcoin in here, I'd be up about 86% right now. I would have made one Bitcoin into 1.86 Bitcoin. See that? That's how you trade BTC pairs. BTC pairs will change your life. Interesting. And we could trade them the way I trade them with the 200-day moving average and stuff like that, you know. FTT token looking interesting too against Bitcoin. You know, because it was so low, it doesn't take a lot to get it back up. This is interesting. So we'll start to be more focused on Bitcoin pairs too as the market starts to rip more. BEPRO inside of this falling wedge. BEPRO is another coin that when it pumps likes to pump pretty hard. Has a pretty good little sub-compact following. People like to trade BEPRO on the low. Trading groups alike, people know about it. I've traded it on and off. BEPRO on the radar. Take your fib there. You're coming into golden pocket territory. That's another BTC pair that may make some gains. So I asked my team probably to open up a BTC pair section. Always doing something new and interesting here on the trading group, just to kind of keep you guys on your toes. But yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing here for some BTC pairs. What do you have to say about that? I like that. Do you guys like BTC pairs? Have you traded Bitcoin pairs before? Did they excite you? Did they scare you? Be honest, let me know. How do you feel about Bitcoin pairs? Let me know. Let me know what you're thinking. Theta TA. TIA is very strong. TIA is amazingly strong. Unbelievably strong. Yeah. But yeah, I like BEPRO. And shout out to LaCoy. We like you too, man. LaCoy, you know, we like you and we appreciate you being here. And thank you for the compliments. I see you. I like this guy. He's actually does good TA. Thank you. Did you be able to cast price action with the price action of April 1st timeframe? Dot Palm. Hey, Sam, do you have any knowledge about IOTA? IOTA's hot. I mean, it's a different type. It's the entanglement, right? The tangle. It does something different than the rest of the blockchain. I used to study IOTA like 2-3 years ago. Old coin. Kind of like take the dust off. No one really cares about it anymore, but it's hot. I mean, it has something different about it. Like it a lot, but scary because I don't go right erect. Yeah, but I like BEPRO there. BEPRO BTC. Something to have setting alerts. Oh, man, what a day. How do I join the Discord? Jump on in, man. It's so simple. We put a link here at the inside. I should have put a link. I did, and then I forgot to pin it. So on point this morning, and then I wasn't, right? Taking me some time just to get my wits back about me, honestly. I'm in a state of complete shock right now. But I'm still here for you guys. You know what? Doing the charts is the most helpful thing because it gets my mind off of everything else, and I'm in the zone. That's why I used to like, that's why people really ride a motorcycle, because when you're riding a motorcycle, you have to be all in, or you're going to die. You know, you have to pay attention to what you're doing. And it gets, you know, you could be thinking of 100 other things you have to think about, work, life. But when you're on that motorcycle, you really kind of have to pay attention. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay, so moving forward. Dot, Giant, Cup, and Handle booming off the retest. Yeah, everyone keeps talking about polka dot, so let's take a look at it. You know, and that's why I was talking about MOVR, right? And, you know, Moonbeam, Moon River. I mean, the thing, Dot's so boring that's an amazing move for Dot. You know what I mean? 5.15 to 5. Everyone's like, oh my God, Dot is out of control today. It's just like, wow. You know? And to me, I mean, that was a fake out, break back inside the pattern. You still had it. I mean, I like it. What I like is you're front running the golden cross here on the daily, which is like my old school way to make money. See, I like these old school not easy tricks, but I like things that make sense. And then we got the slanted Adam and Eve double bottom with the neckline that broke to the upside, which suggests more move is going. And the daily stochastics pointing to the upside. Everything looks good to me for Dot. So then I'd be looking at the 7-minute time frame. Nice pump on the 7. I get it. I see how it caught you by surprise. That's a pretty nice pump on the 7-minute. Now, let's flip back on our moving averages here. Where you at? Yeah. So now, I mean, the 5-minute to me likely has to make some type of pattern. But it's likely going to continue because the daily's in our favor. So if this is what I do. Once I see a bigger time frame makes sense, I start breaking down the smaller time frames and using those in my favor for gains. All right? And this is what we're looking for. This is what we want. This is it. And this is why when I get into this trade later on today, it makes sense. People are like, how come when I open trades, it is because you're not looking at the overall picture. You're jumping in a flag whenever you want. This is a flag that I'm projecting before it even happens, understanding that the daily's in my favor. There's a lot going on inside of my thought process before I get inside a trade. I don't just get into a trade. All right? Just want to make that clear, you know? That's why people try to replicate or do the same thing as someone else online. Like, you got to understand what's happening. There's more going on. There's some skills behind the skill, right? Fun Fit, Atlas, you know, Koinos, or Koinomi. That was another one. BRISE. Been back in the day, I put out BRISE. How's it been going? Looks like it hit the stop a little bit, and then it pumped hard. Sad. That trade got stopped out, likely. Let's take a look at my baby JOYSTREAM, and how's JOYSTREAM holding its new all-time high area there. JOYSTREAM is hanging out and doing damage nicely, resetting, losing a little bit of the wedge, but still okay. All is well. That ends well so far, right? Could be topping out there a little bit of bearish div, but getting reset as well. JOYSTREAM on the radar for possible more gains, but things are starting to slow down. You can see the market is taking a bit of a slowdown. Today, you can see less movement, a little bit dry there on Bookmap. Even the fall through in the short wasn't that strong. No buy up wick too much craziness. It's pretty slow here in the market. $37,560. All right. And remember, trading is very similar to surfing. When you go out surfing, you do try to conquer whatever wave you can, but if there's some days where the waves keep coming, the wind is good, and you get a lot of chances to get in and out. There's other days where it's just like flat, there's not much, and you don't force it. And there's other days where it's just so rough that you could get slammed. And, you know, you want to surf on the best days possible. Everyone thinks, oh, I'm a day trader. I have to trade every single day of my life. I have to hit the market open. I have to. I mean, you don't have to do anything. The second you have to do anything, you don't have a system, number one, because you're just forcing yourself. Now, you can get into, I can find a trade almost any day of the week if I want to, but you even saw us on that trading competition, forcing ourselves to trade on Thursday afternoon at 3 o'clock when the market was tight. You know, we still were able to find gains here and there, but like, you know what I mean? It was like watching paint dry instead of, you know, maybe Tuesday was amazing this week, right? We got the pumps for Bitcoin. We got the moves we wanted. Everything kind of played out on the Tuesday like we wanted it to. All right. ASTRA protocol broke out for nice move. Look, got above the 200 SMA, hit it, bounced off it again. 12 hour maybe resetting for some more gains. Another thing is the Kosh network, which is on my radar. And so many coins just rip through my mind as my mind thinks and plans and dreams. But a Kosh network all the way back from 80 to 160. Beautiful double up from October 31st. And I remember we started getting into a Kosh. Remember back then, I always remember this setup because it was so, like, it was supposed to break out and it did. It was just looked so money. Like, never had a setup been so simply, just look at how beautiful that bull pennant was. And it did exactly what it was supposed to do. It ripped from 59 all the way to 176. This is before the bull run even began. This was last August into September. This is the beginning of August, really. The 4th to the 20th. We were given these type of calls before people were making gains. We've been making gains in the trading group. Injective protocol, I called out going all the way to 16 way back when it was in this channel here. And I drew it, and it was like a giant cup and handle. You guys remember? And I kept saying, here's your buy zone in this end of this channel. And we just slowly had an accumulation zone, and then we were gone. Some of these coins you just can't get back there, and you just can't get them anymore at those levels. And so to me, I mean, what I start seeing happening is like this is starting to make a bigger channel. I'm just numb, and I'll be numb for the rest of my life. Like a sunset will never look the same. Like I just went on these walks with my mom. She would always go on this walk near my house. Thank God it was a really pretty nice long walk that took you to the end of a Finger Lake Cove. You know, there's a big lake and it had all these little fingers that it went out to. And so there's coves that went out. We called it Short Cove. For sure, it was the shortest one of all the ones, but it was a long. It took you like, if you went for a long hustle, it took you about an hour to do. If you lollygagged, it took you an hour and a half. You know. And my mom loved this walk, and she would take this walk, and I would take it with her. And you know, as my dad passed, she would take it more and more just to kind of get herself in the motion. If she couldn't work out that day, she'd at least take that walk, or she didn't want, you know. And that walk was special to her and special to me, special to my whole family. And I went with her just recently on the walk. I remember when I was home with her, and she's like, aren't these flowers so beautiful? Look at these colors. And she went on this walk every day. You know what I mean? And she still found like so much beauty. My mom found so much beauty in everything in life. She was such a special person. I'm telling you guys right now. I know people say, oh, my mom. But like, man, my mother, like, man, she was like, she had a heart of gold. She put up with anything that, you know, she put up with so much. She was such a good person. Like, I will forever be better because of her now. Whenever I go to do something now, I'm like, my mom wouldn't have done that. You know? Like, if someone honked at her, I've never seen her have, like, she didn't even notice if people had road rage. Like, she'd be the type of person that would just be like, she wouldn't even let it in. You know what I mean? She wouldn't even let it in. Shout out to Rodney Robinson. I love you, brother. Thank you so much for being here, man. Sam is the hardest working person I know besides me, man. I love you, Rodney. Couldn't have any more fun with anyone else, man. Super chats, Octavius, XNA, FCON, Jesus, and Coinbase stock. I like Injective here. If it can continue sideways, it's one of the stronger coins. It can definitely double up here. And it's been making a strong base. You want to look at coins that really have been performing on their own throughout, regardless of the whole market. Injective's been one of them, right? Forming a really strong base here. Injective protocol. All right. Let's take a look at FCON. Someone asked about FCON. Let's take a look at what's happening for FCON. Shout out to the 837 people on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Unbelievable. Maybe get the likes up to the watchers. 392 likes. That's a beautiful sign, though. A lot of people hitting that like button. A lot of people sending their love. A lot of people throwing down. And so I saw FCON on this little flag. Eventually, it did get up 94%. Again, it may have, wasn't perfect. It went all over the place there. Looking at more there on that 4-hour time frame. I didn't make a call on this, so I'm not going to claim I did. I haven't looked at this coin in since that last thing you saw me do there, probably in November 5th. FCON had a nice pump. I late to the party, but it still has some momentum on the 4-hour time frame, which tells me that it could, and it made this little flag on the 7. You're looking for little flags now on the 7-minute to compete, to see if you can keep up, But for the most part, it's getting up to a high where it's likely going to get sold off again, in my humble opinion. But you never know. I'm not a soothsayer. I don't know for sure. Sorry, my finger just slipped there. But yeah, I'd be watching this little. I'd be projecting a little flag on the 7 and seeing if I could get some price action on it. Waiting for the 21 to come back into action, and that's kind of what I'd be doing. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not saying you should be taking this financial advice. Please get yourself a financial advisor and do your own due diligence before getting into any project, coin, or trade. Let's look at Koinos, which was KOIN right on MEXC here. And we'll take a look. Looked like it may want to extend there, but I just put out an alert there. I wasn't really like, oh yeah, like see what it can do. It was low on the stochastics in the 4-hour time frame, but the daily was the daily overbought. Yeah, daily's a little far away from the 21-day moving average. That's why you don't want to get too enticed. I look for it to come back down to the 786 Fibonacci level, reset nicely. But it finally got its day in the sun. I mean, it went from 53 all the way up to 222, 225. And there's always a sell-off after a pumpage. Just who can maintain that swing, get in and out, and still, or who wants to hold long term. It depends on the people's different ideas, right? Overall, more bearish day than bullish. Again, we'll run on the crypto bubbles and see what's happening in the last hour. FTT holding, DOT holding, and some other coins just kind of flat, but more sideways day. Nothing up huge, nothing down right now in the last hour, or XRD a little bit. I'm somewhat colorblind, so the reds and the greens look somewhat the same to me. A little bit of flat, everything holding a little bit, but price action mostly flat in the last hour, right? Nothing crazy going on. Polkadot seems to be the coolest thing on the block right now. And Bitcoin back to 37,640, not getting completely trounced, wanting to come back inside of that pattern that we have drawn. And it looks like, sideways and more downside, like I was projecting here for the day on the 1-hour time frame. So we fought off the bears. We didn't get the complete dumpage here. And to me, it looks like, kind of I wouldn't be surprised. We bounce back up to the top of the channel bound. And we just we're channel bound here for Bitcoin. The 1 hour is showing a double bottom on the stochastics, which is nice, and holding the 200 SMA. As long as we don't go below the 200 SMA on the 1 hour, we're good to go too. We'll just go more sideways. The second we lose this and close the candle below it, that's when I would start looking into a short. That's where I would begin to build a short, begin to find myself into a short there for Bitcoin. All right. Let's take a look at the DXY and see what's happening with the DXY. God bless you all for jumping on into the live and being here with the Crypto Lifer. So we saw this in a descending triangle. We dumped. Divergence. Popped back up. Broke back up into the 200 SMA. Showed some strength here on the dollar index, right? Let's take a look. So we broke down the last time, but we got, I'm surprised that we got back above that level. I would like to have seen us stay below 102.92. So let's start afresh on the dollar index. I haven't looked at it in a big, on a big scale in a long time. So you can see we clearly have a big resistance that came in 1997, to 2001 there at 121. We got pretty high there recently when we hit that one. It felt like it was 119. This says a little lower, right? And we have this beautiful bottom out area at about 189 or 89 and 88. And then this area that's kind of significant on the monthly. So let's go back into the weekly now and see what's happening on the weekly. And so the weekly reset all this way. And, for the amount of dumpage, it could have been more severe. Like, that's a really good weekly dump. And we had our time. Bitcoin had a nice pump. It's interesting, you know, we would like to see, is this going to continue? And you would think, you know, we would head further down all the way to the 200 SMA. And first I had us almost like in this pattern. We broke out, broke back inside. Then you could say we're in this bigger pattern. We're in a larger channel. And we're just kind of channeling back to the bottom of it. So then you ask yourself, well, where is support, right? And you have these two candles that had resistance, and you wicked right there. You'd also hit a fib here. And we wicked almost to the golden pocket. You'd like to see us get to the 786, which would put the dollar index tussling with this level here again at about 101.24. All right. Now let's move further back into like the 5-day and the 3-day. See, to me, once you lose these moving averages, just like when you're upside down, you're going to pump up. So like it's very likely that the 5-day will continue down to this 200 SMA. So that's what I'm looking for right now on Bitcoin. You know, shoulder, head, maybe we make another right shoulder here and then we complete the move down. But for the dollar index, not Bitcoin, but I see this moving further down. You know, I see the DXY making a move further to the downside. I really do. And I see some severe resistance points that it would have to get back above in order to be bullish. Mainly, we'll say 105.79, right? And I just don't see it in the cards to get that big move up, but you never know. I'm not saying it can either. Who cares what the charts convey to me that we will have a hard time getting back above those key levels. Is a bit of a kind of a cup and handle there forming, but I'd like to see us at least get back down here first on the bigger time frames. You know, daily is really low. We could look shoulder, head. We broke down, trying to pump back above. I want to see that daily stay below that 200 SMA. You don't want to see us break back above there. All right, so you're looking for the 4-hour to get rejected sooner than later here on price action, right? Again, you do almost have the slant at Adam and Eve double bottom, which is interesting as well. Price action is pretty weird. And you almost have that like parallel channel. You can see there's a channel in the middle here that's acting as support or resistance. You know, bounce, fell below, resistance as well. Let's take a look at the ES1 S&P futures. Had them in the flag yesterday, right? Kind of went over the fact, and we just went sideways inside the flag. The 4-hour looking really good, so I'm looking for a move up to the upside here for the S&P future. Simple as simple does. That's a bullish rectangle, and touching the moving averages, getting tight. Could make a Bart Simpson, but so far so good with the oversold stochastics. You know, the 1-hour and the 4-hour all looking pretty nice, getting tight here. You don't want to see us break too much below this 200 SMA. If that happens, it will be a Bart Simpson move to the downside. So I do see, So literally by the end of the day today, you need to see the S&P stay above this yellow line. If you're down here somewhere, we're going to have to take it's likely you'll get a short at least to there. And then if you lose that level, a smooth move right back down to this next key level here at 4438. So am I bullish or bearish on the S&P? Honestly, it would depend on the end of the day today. Right now, I would have to remain more bearish because right now we are below the 200 SMA. Let's zoom in there and take a look. Yeah, you don't want to see that close below that. That's a bearish sign for me I have to be honest. Price action pretty sloppy too. Almost an Adam and Eve double top the other way, reverse cowboy style. Oops. Didn't mean to say that. Sorry. Reverse style, right? That's what I meant. Yeah. Someone's Googling right now. Like, what did he just... Oh, my... No. My goodness. Gracious, no. My, oh, my. No. That can't be, And I don't know when I'll get back to 100%, but I'll get back. You know what I mean? Can you chart out play at 3 games, sir? Is that 3 bull? Was it a nice channel? Fell below the channel. Got a little pumpage there. Moved the stop loss to break even. That was a winner at one point. Is this what you want here? Player 3 bull? playable games. Sam, check out Lime, incredible low cap gem. This thing was hot too, and this thing's been holding gains. I don't think it's what he asked about. I think it's different, but I would just watch this closely. Thing's been hot. Like, it could have been sold off like other things, but it's really not. It's been holding gains really nicely. GFAL too, another coin that I want to take a look at, my baby. How's GFAL doing? Still at all-time highs. Barely gets a lot of volume. You know what I mean? Gets a tight spread on the price action, but man, it will take some time. People don't know about this coin. Like, we've known about it forever, so it's old to us, but a lot of people still don't know. And it looks like it could get into price discovery yet again not too long from now. Back to 5.4. You will honor their legacy forever, Sam. Shout out to Lifer Adam, man. God bless you, man. Sam, I humbly suggest you take 1 day off per week. God created the work and took his day off. I split mine and take 1 half day evening and half day the next morning. I would watch every day and make money, but we care about your health too. I split mine and take 1 half day evening and 1 half day the next morning. I take time off. You know what I mean? I do something like that, I guess. You know what I mean? Yeah. Shout out to Judge Bibbles. We love you, man. Super chats, Octavus, GNA, Coinbase stock, 3-volt, and LAI. Let's take a look at LAI. Layer AI. Tiny coin just came up. Might look cooler on the on a decentralized exchange, right? $2 million market cap, tiny. Got an Ethereum address and what, Binance Smart Chain. I like it. That was the old school way, right? The dedicated blockchain network for data monetization within AI models. Customize your profile. Layer VPN. Users downloading Layer VPN also have equipped their data capsule and are able to earn rewards for token browsing the web. High quality data innovates industries. Interesting. How to get started with AI to earn. Read our detailed. Interesting. Explore the layer AI ecosystem. Technology infrastructure. Looks okay. I'm not 100% sold here. Looks all right. Enough to get some trades. I don't know if I'm long-term holding it or anything like that. Got sold off pretty bad. You know, I don't know anyone that's in this or anything too. I mean, 5 days of red, usually you're going to get a move back up, right? You don't usually get that many, but you never know. But it got sold off nicely. Golden pocket retracement. Yeah, previous support is resistance. I mean, you're starting to make some type of case there could be a nice move here. Kind of that cup and handle going on. Got that Adam and Eve double bottom in a way, slanted. Yeah, I'd trade more the 8 hour on this just because it's such a smaller time frame. 8 hour, 12 hour. Looks good to me. It did lose this support region. It may have to come back down to the 786. There's no guarantees it's going to hold that level, but it's looking all right. Possibly 76% gains out of Layer AI. Let's take a look at our baby coin. Coinbase Global on the NASDAQ. So look, I mean, last time we talked about it was down there at 60, and it has now since doubled, 122 to a high of 133. Doing really, really well. And, you know, the XRP case had a lot to do with it. A lot of that going on. And even with their case, you know, you'd think people would be more concerned, but people want the future, man. They don't want to be stuck in the past, and they know that the risk of that regulatory, you know, kind of environment creates the opportunity. What I mean by that is you want them to feel like they're under scrutiny and all that, because that creates the average person to be in fear. And when the average person is in fear, they won't buy an investment. So you know, for you to get into an investment, you need the average person to think it's garbage. You need, or to be in such fear that they're unable to make a decision. See, it's sad to say, but an investor's best tool is the fear of the masses. Now, you fight, we all grew up with that fear. I was living in that fear. I was one just like everybody else, but I have pushed myself on the other edge of fear. I don't live in that place anymore. And because I pushed myself out, people come to me and ask me and look to me. And, I become a guide for them because I have made I've pushed myself to the other side where many people thought they could never get to. I never thought I could get there, and I'm there now. So cheers to each and every one of you. May you stay blessed. Shout out to Pickle Rick. Shout out to everybody here on the live. God bless everyone here on the live. And thank you so much for the $50 super chat. And thank you so much for your humble suggestion. We love you and we appreciate you watching study. May God bless you. Sam, can we do a 24-hour live stream for the 99 Club? Gunner 67, maybe one day, but not today. So we're watching Coinbase stock, and the idea is, yeah. Cheers to you, Sammy. Cheers to you, my friend. Stay blessed. Amen. Amen. Your mentality is what gets you to the next level. Everyone thinks it's going to be, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. You're going to start a business, but the business is going to come from your mind. When your mind changes how you look at things, everything will change. All right. If you want to join the trading group, everybody, hit the link to cryptolifer.com and jump on in today. We have a beautiful payment network. Jump on in. See what's going on. Sign up to the newsletter. I'd greatly appreciate it if you do that. Okay? Opt into the newsletter. The best place to sign into the newsletter is not, we got to take that down, is to sign in right here. Bang. That way you can opt into anything that I'm doing or all the new stuff that's coming your way. All right? Jump on in today. Hit the links inside of the comment section here at the top. CryptoLifer.com, MEXC, if you want to join MEXC and trade where we trade, or if you would like to join the newsletter. The newsletter was awesome. We gave discounts to people on the Black Friday Cyber Monday sale that we didn't give to anybody else, and we really changed the whole flow. I'm super excited. Shout out to all the new people in the trading group. May God bless you. Just give me a few days to transition with the death of my mom, but once I kind of settle her down, and I'll be back. It just gives me, and I am strong. I'm still doing my thing, but you'll get the full-blown Sammy. Just got to give me a couple days to kind of regroup here. It's been a punch to the gut, so to speak, and it's been a lot for me to deal with. I do see a bounce back for Bitcoin back to the top of the channel here. We're defending the 200 SMA, which is a good sign for BTC. All right. Sammy and Rex send our condolences for your loss. Thank you so much, Chad. I greatly appreciate it. Everything takes time, friend. It's okay. Shout out to Steve Cromie. God bless you, and I appreciate you. Thank you. Take a look at Bitcoin dominance. Something you want to fill your day with every once in a while is a little bit of Bitcoin dommy. And again, we talked about this. We said, can we get the pullback for Bitcoin dominance? And if we can we get some more love in the altcoins? So you're looking when Bitcoin dominance pulls back like this for some altcoin lovery. All right, smothery the lovery. And that's what we're looking for. All right, that's what we're going for. That's what we want. Honestly, I'm going to look at it differently. Just get rid of everything and look at it fresh again like I always do. Just gives me a new perspective. Make sure I'm not like hugging some old idea or staying in my bias. So take a look here. Resistance, bounce off the moment here. And we also have a beautiful resistance here and here. And resistance with the bounce here as well on the weekly time frame. All right, so this is Bitcoin dominance. You can see it's been in a clear uptrend for a while, and as such, because Bitcoin's been hot and people want more Bitcoin. And the more microsailor buys, the more freaked out people think they can't get their hands on it. And there's definitely some FOMO right now going on for BTC. It's slow FOMO. It's like people think it's going to happen over they should be seeing like Bitcoins fly out the window, and they technically are, just harder to notice. So Bitcoin dominance looks like it's about to go on a tear. That's one thing. On the weekly, it's starting to break out. Likely going to head back to the top of the channel. So already Bitcoin dominance looking pretty interesting. Had a big 3-day candle boom, right? And, we have a little bit of a pullback, but so far not the best, right? So we're hoping right now that Bitcoin dominance can get a little bit of a pullback here, even if it's slightly sideways, just something to give a little bit of movement into these altcoins. And we get a nice little pump up eventually. But right now, I just want to see this pull back a little bit, right? Overall, it does look like it's making higher lows and setting up for a bigger move to the upside, though. So no matter what's going on, altcoins look like they've had their time, but and again, some altcoins have been pumping today, like DOT, Polkadot, look, 49%, 30%, 31%. Atlas, there's been some pumpage today. Altcoins are having fun. Like the title of my video was not clickbait. Like there's been some fun on these altcoins. But, it's just something we want to pay attention to. It could continue through the weekend if we see Bitcoin dominance continue to fall down a little bit for the next 3 days. All right. When you least expect it, you realize you are feeling better. Amen. God bless you, Rave Song Records. Cheers to the best teacher in the game. Sip the lemons. Yeah. My mom was just so sweet, man. Like if she was like, I don't think you guys get it. And she wasn't in a hospital room. She wasn't sick. She was running around in the middle of finishing her house. She had construction workers in and out of the house. She had a new garage door just set up. She didn't even get a chance to show me all the things she did to the house yet. Like she was going to tell me all the stuff she did, and we were going to really bond over that. And she was asking me questions like, how should the door go? What should I do on the side? What kind of fan should I look at? And I brought her to the fan store, and when I got there, I saw the 2 fans in the ground that she had picked out that she'll never see put inside the ceiling. Like, and she figured all the stuff about the electrical that she knew she had to do, and she was just in the middle of so many things. It's really sad, man. She was 74. She was the brightest person you ever meet. Like, so happy all the time. Never in a bad mood. You would never know something wasn't going right for her. She was always she was just awesome. She was awesome all the time. I can't explain how awesome she was. The only way I can explain how awesome she was is just show you how awesome I am. And you'd have to assume, like, that my mom must be that nice for me to be as nice as I am. So, like, I keep telling myself, never show a side that doesn't show your mother's side. And so the new me, and I've always been that way, but I'm going to be even more, I'm going to be as strong as I can. Like the new me, I'm just going to be as sweet as I can to every single person that I meet, And if I have to do what I have to do, I'll do it at the right time. But right now, for the most part, I just want to be there for anyone and anyone. I want to help. And that's how I've been. I mean, my mom raised me that way, but I want to just continue that legacy. I want everyone to hear her name, Irene Price. She was amazing. My dad, Jimmy Price, he was amazing. I'll be honest though, my mom was a sweetest soul in the world. My dad was a nice guy, but my mom was like one of the sweetest people you ever meet. My dad was a nice guy, I'll be honest. It doesn't take away from my mom, but he was not like, my mom was on another level. You could tell when my dad was agitated, and everybody knew it. My mom, you would never know. Like, she was conscious about everything and everyone around her. She was a being beyond beings. Like, I speak so highly of her because the words I look for almost don't exist, because when I think of her, she's like an angel floating in the sky, man. I'm telling you, she was a heavenly woman. Like, such a nice, and she wasn't spiritual. She didn't like the church. She didn't quote the Bible. She wasn't into any of that. She barely spoke about God. I'm not trying to be rude. She wasn't a godly person, so to speak. But she treated everybody like they were a beautiful being of God. She really did. She really, really did. Shout out to Empire Token here on the daily. I like what I'm seeing here. 121% gains possibly coming out of this thing. I've never heard of it. Never seen it before. It just looked nice. Retesting its previous support and resistance. If it drops, maybe one more level down. This is something I'm looking at. Maybe a little low cap gem on XC. Nothing too crazy. Empire Records. Remember that? My fiance is the same. She believes in God, but I tell you, she heaven sent. And sounds like your mother was and is well. Yeah. This is my song, for real, no doubt. Said the DJ's making me feel funny. Yeah. Cheers to the best teacher in the game. God bless you all, though. Thank you so much. Super Chats, OCTAVUS, XNA, and Jesus. We looked at XNA. Someone just asked me about Jesus. They didn't ask me to go over Jesus. I kind of was staying from going over. I'm not trying to hate on Jesus coin, but it's just like, it's a meme coin. At the end of the day, it's just the meme coin. It has no real use case. All right. And they're using the God's name. But today, look, it's at 33, which is pretty interesting, right? $51 million market cap. And again, I'm not trying to hate. Every coin has its day. I get it. But, you know, because the guy's been asking about Jesus every single day now on the stream, and I get it. It's his thing. And I appreciate the super chats from my dude who does that. Like, I'm not unappreciative. I want to make it clear. Thing is mooning, though. I'll give it to you. Since we put it out, it has mooned considerably on another level. Up 400% gains from when we even first looked at it there. So it is mooning. It's trying to change my tune. I'm like, it kind of mooned. You know? And now you have to almost look at it on a smaller time frame. See what it's going to continue to do there. Wow. But Jesus Coin is on a tear. Congratulations to the Jesus Coin people here. I was looking at this coin, OCTAVUS Prime. I don't even, you know, I've never heard of it. I was just looking at the TA today. Got a little bit of a breakout. Moving above, you know, see if it can continue. The stochastics look okay. The 4-hour stochastics are a little high. Look for the 15-minute. That's getting a little spent. Very low, you know, volume. So just, you know, in and out with very little bit of amounts of money on something like this. 1 hour says it could continue up a little bit more. Yeah. And it, you know, I put one on one to lose in smaller coins like this. Take a shot on the pattern and see if it can break out to the target. Just not a lot of, you know, not a lot of big thought on that. All right. And the Dark Shields Gaming Guide. Dark Shield Game Studios. Wow, that's got a tiny market cap. Yikes. I don't know if that's the one, but I'd be careful. Yeah. Nano cap. But yeah, it's not even a micro cap. It's a nano cap. You know. Anyway, just crossed below 1.8 million Bitcoin left on exchanges. Bang, bang, bang. I mean, isn't that amazing? Bitcoin getting so many. We're getting scarce. The Bitcoins on the exchanges are getting scarce. All right. And again, look for price action to go sideways. You know, I do see the bounce from the bottom of the channel. It's nice that we negated that head and shoulder pattern. We did get a pretty nice gain off the short though, from like 700 all the way down to 564 or whatever. But now I do see us coming back to the top of this channel and just kind of channeling. Just, you know, and maybe tomorrow morning, maybe even like Saturday, we get some type of pump out of this channel. But I see this taking a 12-hour just mosey on down through the channel. And the Bitcoin is not bullish unless it can break back above 37,750 and then 38K really as well. You know what I mean? Everyone has a blessed day with abundance in your lives. Much peace and love to all of you and yours. Can you check out the Wax P and MBX? Send in a super chat for TA and deep dives if you can. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for the love, though. All right. A great way to stay in touch with your lifer community is to join the newsletter. Thank you so much. And the newsletter we have right here, pinned in the comment section. Join the newsletter, click on that, and become part of the lifer community today. Greatly appreciate that. Really would love that. All right. And I got other coins and things that I've looked at that I'm putting out in the trading group that I'm not putting it out here on the live stream because I've already kind of worked my magic and looked at some things. So that's another thing I want to kind of break down. You don't get everything on the live stream, even if you think you do. There's so much more to be had inside the trading group. All right. Last thing I want to look at before I jump on out of here, that was kind of, you know, was the total market cap in all of cryptocurrency. Looking bullish to me, but had some differences as juxtaposed to the Bitcoin market, the Bitcoin, you know, overall big picture. But, you know, I'm just watching this beautiful channel on the total market cap beginning to form here, and it's nice. It's beautiful. And as long as this kind of stays inside of this channel, tight moving averages, 1 hour looking good. I mean, I don't see why we won't continue further to the upside. So things looking very bullish here for the total market cap. It is a 50-50 pattern. Could break up or down. I get it. But, I mean, you're making continuous higher lows, getting jammed up, price actions coiling in, and it could take, you know, till the end of December to January for the bigger move. But it's telling us things may slow down a little bit as we get tighter and tighter. Volatility may get tight, but it's showing us that a bigger move is beginning to coil up for the total market cap. That would be $1.6 trillion, and things would really start to heat up here for the total market cap. in all of cryptocurrency. I'm excited. You should be excited. Things are getting crazy, right? Karora is also something that moves with Polkadot. So you'd expect some type of move at one point with Karora. I'll look at that again. Akala is another thing that moves with Polkadot. When Polkadot starts to move, you got Fala, which is another one that likes to move. So you got Akala on KuCoin there. You also have Akala here on MEXC. All right. So these are just ecosystem plays. Once you understand an ecosystem, MOVR, Moonbeam also likes to make a move. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if we came back down and then we saw Akala get some type of bigger move out of this. Just because Polkadot's getting some steam. All right. So Coinbase stock, you know, I see it making this flagging out. Once that flag continues, more movement coming up. It broke above a key resistance there at about 110. I mean, really good load up for anyone at $60, $70 level. I mean, beautiful double up for Coinbase stock. And it's at the beginning. I mean, this bull run changes and things get crazy. I see it easily getting past its all-time high and more. So, to me, that's a no-brainer. Even here, it's to me, again, I'm not a financial advisor, but for me personally, even this price isn't too bad, 122. I'd like to get it a little closer to the 100s, but even that isn't too bad. Taking a look at some other stocks like MYRIA, Marathon Digital, which I bought live in front of everyone here at $9.67, calling the bottom and telling you that was likely going to be your bottom. My target was 12.11. We went all the way up to 12.61, and MYRIA in the money. Shout out to anyone that saw me make that call. I bought it here on Webull. Didn't even ask for an affiliate link to Webull. Nothing. Just did it completely. Just a nice guy. Most people will only make a trade if the trade, like, you know, some type of, you know, but no, I just made the trade, showed you where I got in, showed you why I got in, and showed you how I made gains in the stock market like that. You know what I mean? But bang, bang, bang. I mean, that's up about, you know, 30% since the buy zone for MYRIA, Marathon Digital. Then there's MSTR, right? Which is buying MicroStrategy, which to me, I mean, is good. You know, it just gives you a little more, you know, a little more exposure to Bitcoin without having to own Bitcoin. You know, just, you know, again, if you want to. But we were looking at down here at 334, and the thing pumped all the way almost to the target 544 or 534. And I mean, I can see this thing continuing to move. And as Bitcoin continues to grow up in value, you know, they keep buying Bitcoin. It's going to be a sound investment over time. MicroStrategy, I see it getting all the way up to $1,045 a share. All right. And right now it's sitting at $497. That's a double up. Again, Bitcoin might make a better return on it. You never know. All right. Watching this coin Rocco, which looks like it's just going to head to 17 cents and all the way almost to the target at 19 cents not too long from now. I don't know what it is or why. Thing just continues to moon. Just like Axelar continues to just go on a tear. It's a coin I was looking at in the trading group Samo, which is a smaller coin. But this thing is consolidating nicely. Whenever I see something consolidate nicely, I like to, you know, look for it to break out and retest. And I like to swing those retests, or I like to take shots on them with the proper risk management, you know, depending on how I feel about the coin or the token at the time. All right. I just started with what I could afford. $20. I'm down to 18 is worth it learning the buttons. Thank you, sir, your time, Sam. I appreciate you. Anytime, man. Samo Cup and Hando. Shout out to Jamie. Funny guy today. Super chats, Rio. Relio. Get Relio. I mean, this thing pumped up huge, and now it's just flagging out. I'd be looking for some type of, you know, support and resistance levels. I'd like to see it come back down to this key area at like 5.2. Personally, that would be my buy zone, 5.2. Celebrate the first super chat from Dan. Can you look at BEAMX, please? God bless you, Dan. Thank you for the $1.99 pound. And God bless Dan for his first super chat. Thank you, Dan. We appreciate you. And we love you here on the channel. And we thank you so much for your support every single time. We'll look at Dan Coin right now. BEAMX. on MEXC, Beam. So it just came out on MEXC, so it doesn't have as much liquidity. Smaller idea. But the thing's been hot, right? And you got to look at it inside of a symmetrical triangle. It's got a 50-50 shot of breaking out. Now, if you know about the ecosystem and why it's hot, that may propel more of an idea of why it may pump. Like, is it getting into, does it have a TVL? What is BingX? So I'll run in and see what's happening to BingX. I believe it's beam swap, right? See, I don't know what this thing is really. Beam, BingX, there's too much going on here. Is it Beam? Moonbeam, I know Moonbeam, Glimmer. 005, is that the same one? No. Yeah, I don't know. Zano, BCH Silver, please. Yeah, it sucks because I'm terrible with math, but I work at it, so I got some here and there, but no getting off easy for me. All for learning, though. Yeah. It's new, BMX. BMX dropped today. Maybe worth a look. I mean, it already is it already went from a half a penny almost to a penny, right? So it doubled up real fast. I think it go to 12, which is 1 2/10 of a penny. It's interesting. I mean, high risk, right? What can I say? Brand new high risk MEXC, coiling up, could definitely pump above a point of control. I don't see why I couldn't pump, but you never know. You know what I mean? It's hit or miss on that one. No, I still like Casper, but Tower's hot. Tower's hot as well. Honestly, MYRIA is the new love in the game. Everyone loves some MYRIA in their life now. Everyone wishes and wants that they got some MYRIA. It somehow became like the number. You know what happens is a coin's not even that hot, but everyone thinks it's that hot, and because everyone thinks it's that hot, the FOMO continues, and then you know what happens? It is that hot. So I tell everyone, like, it doesn't have to be that hot to end up being the hot one. It just has to be what everyone thinks is the hot one. You have to be able to figure that out. And so not only do you have to know how to find the tech that's hot, because that will plan out over time, you also have to know how to find out what's not that really the best, but most people will think it's better. And I'm not saying that this is the case with this. This thing could be the best. Sometimes it is the best and people think it's the best, and it works out. But it's not always the case. You know, to make gains, you just want to know what people want to make gains on. All right? And the tech might not be the best tech. It may just be kind of what people like the most. You have to be able to decipher through those two different things. And that's really another skill that kind of gets involved here when it comes to trading. All right. As my mouse just went on and off. Pretty strange. Pickle Rick, learn and practice to control your emotions. If you short on capital, that limits you. Join our trading group. It's the fastest route. Think of what you can cut back on and your expenses. Amen. Amen. Can you check Ocean when you get a chance? Thank you. Ocean's in a flag, bit of a cup and handle, right? So I'm watching MYRIA now because I got in. I didn't get in at the right time, so I'm kind of like limping in if I can, if I'm lucky enough. MYRIA, definitely on the radar though. How was Nosana? Nosana just continued to rip. How's our baby Nosana? Did it ever get sold up? No. I mean, look at that thing, just still staying in a nice, beautiful, consolidative place. Nosana, just wanting to do damage. Interesting. Pickle Rick will teach you. Jamie will show you how to pickle it. How to pickle it. I'm sorry, that wasn't right. I was just... SBR has been doing some damage. Yes, it has. That thing has been Saber Protocol, I think it was, banging on. Really, when Doge goes crazy, it means something with Twitter's going on usually. Oh, that's not crazy. Doge is just absolutely going crazy. It went from 7.7 to 8.3. My. 3.5 cents. My goodness. I mean, it's looking okay. I like it. It's consolidating. Better than what it's been doing before. I got it in this Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve that could break on out. Wouldn't be surprised if it came back down first, coiled up, and then pumped out. But his target is 9.8. Now I got alerts on Dogecoin. Thank you. Appreciate you. When you read Leverage testimonials, you'll know you're in the right place. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you. You're the man, Liver. Thanks for showing up every day in every way. Hey, man, you got to do what you got to do. My mom would have done it. That's how my mom does it. All right, and that's going to be it for the day, everyone. And I still see sideways price action for BTC. Ocean, someone want me to go over, yeah. So I see Ocean in a bigger channel here, see? It broke out. Now, resistance right there. So as long as it stays above 40, to me, it has pretty good signs of a bigger move. The 3 days a little overbought, though. Tell me that it would have to get pumped by a bigger time frame. Getting some love right now. 22 hours says it can pump. So, I mean, look at that. Nice giant candle for Ocean. I see this flag pumping. I see the target at 57. All right. I mean, it has room. The stochastics really want to move. I wouldn't jump in this green candle. I'd look for some type of flag on the 5 to the 7. But Ocean does look very bullish to me. Everyone, God bless you all for being here. Yeah. BingX is a game subnet of Merit Circle, released last month on AVAX. Interesting. Thank you for saying that. Now we know what it is. Couldn't figure out what it was. Now I get it. I kind of follow the yellow brick road there. Everyone, thank you so much for jumping on in. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. We really greatly appreciate it. We love you. We thank you. And we'll be back with a regular scheduled program tomorrow. And, stay strong. Stay focused. And may God love each and every one of you and bless you all. Thank you.